And what I had to learn, and also a thing that Taylor taught me, was that it's not about the numbers of who shows up. It's about what you do and how you handle the situation with the people that you have there. If your numbers grow, great. If they don't be discouraged, because it's not a bad thing. And so while doing C3, I also learned in my own way how to make, I also had to make mini lessons, so kind of like mini devos. I had to learn and figure out how to do that, because I had never done this type of thing before, but I really wanted to do it. And I remember for multiple months when I first started, it was really taking a toll on me just because I had a whole bunch of other stuff going on, and I was a sophomore doing chemistry. I'm so sorry, y'all. But that was not it for me. And I remember praying to God weekly, just saying, should I even do this? And now I know what the answer was, but I didn't get any answer at all. Like, I didn't get a yes or no, and that now that I now know that was my answer, God was saying, you know what, like, you can do this if you want, but I'm not going to give you a reason to not do it. Anyways, going back to the things that it taught me, was mini lessons. I had to learn how to figure out and study that, how to understand and teach people 3 sentences, and make sure that they understand that. I had to, and I'm still learning this, figure out how to ask questions and to ask them properly to get out a response from someone that I want, so they understand it, and also how a prayer, because, and I actually have a prayer written down because praying in front of people makes me nervous, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to have a prayer ready. Make it so much easier. And so, going back to the amazing person that I still look up to, Mallory, I wanted to do what Mallory did for me, even when I was at my rock bottom. So I wanted just somebody to be able to look up to me, even if they had no, I don't know. I just wanted someone to look up to me and be able to be like at the spot where I was, and for her to be able, and then for me to be able to do what Mallory did for me. I just wanted to be able to be that somebody for someone. And I wanted kids in middle school to learn about God with me, and I wanted to help them guide through it and hopefully be able to answer the questions I had when I was their age for them, or help them at least with it. So I was talking to Jody one day, and I learned through Miller Burgess that you could be a mentor on the confirmation retreat, and I was like, oh my gosh, cool, I didn't know this was a thing, I want to do it. So right after that, I went and talked to Miss Jody, and I said, hey, I really want to be able to do this. This is the reason why. If there's someone else better fit for the job, awesome. But if you really want it to be me, I would absolutely love to do it. Please consider my offer. And she was like, awesome, yeah, sure. All the people that were the confirmation mentors last year are all seniors, so we have a couple spots open. And I was like, oh my gosh, yay. And so a couple months go by, not in a bad way, but forget about it, you know. And Taylor calls me up and he says, hey, do you want to lead the middle school Bible study? Which isn't middle school confirmation. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. I'm so excited, and I need these, and my partner is Rachel, and she's absolutely amazing. Me and her have gotten so close, and we really balance each other out. I'm so thankful for her. And I've met these amazing group of 8th grade girls, and it's incredible because even in my confirmation class, those girls and boys are teaching me so much, and I'm their teacher, like one of their teachers, and I'm just, like, I say to my parents weekly, they amaze me so many times. But anyways, a couple months later, Taylor texts me and 3 other people saying, hey, you're also one of the confirmation mentors. And I am absolutely so thrilled by this. Not only will I be going and helping with confirmation retreat with them, but I'll also be able to go through their whole confirmation with them. I'm sorry, I just said that. And I'll also be leading the middle school Bible study. This is so much more than what I asked for or what I even hoped. Like, not in a a bad way, but when I asked Miss Jody, I was like, nah, that's not gonna happen. Like, they'll probably pick someone else with a whole lot more experience than me that probably knows the kids a lot more. And I was one of the people that got picked. And so, and these kids in both of those groups have rooted me so deeply in the Lord. Like, they have helped me countless times and they don't even know it. So, going back when Wildfire, which is the high school Bible study, was being taught by Beth and Diane, we were going over Romans. And I was getting into a new group of girls. You know, I'd known them before, but I was actually really getting to know them. And I have a really, really solid 2 close best friends. And then, like, I know a whole bunch of, like, other people from a whole bunch of groups, but I don't have, like, my own group. You know what I mean? And so then they started becoming just, like, the one group that I would always go to. So it was really nice. And they were nice, fun girls. And so, but at that time, in a couple of weeks, would have been homecoming. And they all decided, including me, that we would have like a sleepover, you know, after the homecoming dance, and we would go over to a girl's house. And you know, I had lunch with them, and we're sitting there talking about it. And they start saying these really big numbers, like 200s, 300s. I'm like, oh, what are y'all talking about? Either way, there was definitely going to be alcohol at this party of 5 people. That is not my thing. I don't do that. I've never done that, nor do I want to. Either way, so at the lunch table with this new group of friends, I'm like, oh, okay, sure. Because honestly, I'm caught off guard. And, you know, then they don't mention it for a week, so I'm like, okay, whatever, it's probably not happening. Then they mention it again, and they're like, yeah, we're definitely doing this. I was like, okay, I'm still going. It's okay, it's fine, whatever. And then another week goes by, and they're like, you're okay with this, right? I was like, sure, yeah, okay, fine. And anyways, so it's a week before homecoming, not even a week before homecoming. So the middle school Bible study is on Wednesdays. The homecoming dance was on like that Saturday, so even less than a week. So I'm there listening to Beth and Diane talk, and we read Romans chapter 2, verse 21 through 24, and it says, well then, if you're teaching others, why don't you teach yourself? You tell others not to steal, but do you steal? You say it is wrong to commit adultery, but do you commit adultery? You condemn idolatry, but you use items stolen from pagan temples. You are so proud of knowing the law, but you dishonor God by breaking it. When that was read, I almost cried. I thought I was dishonoring my father, and I was teaching these, at the time I was in new confirmation, at the time I was teaching these amazing girls to do God's work and to love Him and to do the right thing, but I wasn't. How will I be able to fully teach them, but I'm going to this party with tons of alcohol and it's only going to be 5 girls? So that night, I told my mom and dad, and I was like, hey, this is what's happening. I'm sorry, but this is the reason why I'm not going. They were like, yeah, don't blame you. Thank you for telling us. And so I don't go to the sleepover. And so to wrap this up, I hope what y'all have learned from this is that if you don't even know what your testimony is, or if you have your testimony planned out, you're like, this is exactly what I know what it is. Or if you've gone to church for your entire life, or this may or may not be your very first night at church. Or if you're in and out, you're like, yeah, God's cool, I know Him. We don't have the tightest relationship, but whatever. That He will love you and welcome you with opening arms no matter what. And that if you want to share or have a testimony, or you want to figure out what your testimony is and you want to share it in the name of the Lord, that that's going to be an awesome testimony. And so, again, to wrap this up, I would like to close in prayer. So, dear Lord, thank you for this beautiful day today. Thank you, Lord, for giving me the opportunity to speak with my friends tonight. And I pray that I hope something I've said is able to touch them, Lord, and I hope that everyone has a good week. Amen.